there's really no need for me to be here. I'll go and get a cup of coffee because I won't get a word in. Andrew Demetriou has stayed in the studio with me. Thank you.
This is overtime now.
And we are joined by the president of Hawthorn and our regular commentator on the program, former Premier Jeff Kennett.
First time I've met Andrew for a long time.
Are you here as a former Premier or as a Hawthorn president?
No, I'm here as the future.
Future what?
I'm trying to work it out.
He's my replacement.
You two have been locked up in a little room out there. What have you been talking about? Just the two of you.
We've got a ball coming up. And the question is...
Come on, what's the deal? What have you done?
I guess we're talking about Etihad.
Deal
there is a possibility that if Hawthorn qualify next week, they could have a final at Etihad. I'm just telling Jeff.
And I'm worried about that.
You don't want to play at Etihad?
I'll do whatever Andrew suggests.
Did you record that?
But
Did you get that on tape? Get that.
I would be worried because I hope we'll go through to the grand final, and I think Etihad is a risk. So I want to know what our CEO is going to protect the welfare and well-being of my players.
It's been absolutely magnificent since the last 3 or 4 weeks. They haven't had a complaint. Players are very happy with it, and Jeff knows that there are permutations and combinations, that if there's 3 games in Melbourne next week, the MCG can only be used on 2 of those occasions, and that would mean, depending on where Hawthorn finish, if they lose, they probably get a game at the G. If they win,
if we lose, we could play in Fremantle or Sydney. If Fremantle
correct, that's right. There's a lot of ifs and buts.
But I guess the point is, Ian Collins has been doing a lot of work at Etihad Stadium since the kerfuffle about the surface. But I'm still worried. I'm not saying that I wouldn't play, but I would want it properly checked well in advance. I mean, we're in the finals, end of the season. It's too important to have messed up because of a ground surface, and I would hope that both Andrew and Ian would give to both teams a surface that was safe.
Could cause some damage to Hawthorn in the finals, Mel.
You first raised this early in the year, yes. And the response, and you said it was dangerous and there were hammies, and the response from the chief executive of the AFL was you were talking crap.
Oh, worse than that. A pity we didn't have it.
I was stronger than that.
It was. You attacked me viciously and personally. Which is his normal way of responding to any challenge.
Who was right?
Well, I was, clearly, because they've now spent a lot of time and a lot of money on the stadium. But I think it's been good value. I mean, you have these discussions and it leads to better outcomes.
Robust.
The big issue is, Andrew, I see that there's another concert coming back to Etihad in December.
Yes.
Is there any concerts planned there between December and the start of the football season?
No, and I think one good outcome, which you've driven, in fairness to you,
I'll give you
is that I think the stadium operators, and Ian in particular, understand that between New Year and the beginning of the football season, we should avoid concerts, because it's the damage from the concerts that cause it. It's not the traffic from soccer games or other sporting events. It's trucks and scaffolding and all that sort of stuff.
It's also light and traffic.
So no concerts between.
We've requested that there's no concerts between New Year and the start of the season.
You happy with that? Or the club's happy with that?
That's an improvement, as long as the treatment of the surface is given due priority leading up to the start of the season. It's not just, as Andrew said, concerts. It is because the stadium doesn't get access to light. It doesn't get... There's a whole lot of issues, but you can deliver a much better stadium surface than we've had this year, and I think Ian and Andrew are working on that. But I just want to make sure this year, the week after next, if we're playing at Etihad, I'm not going to have my team at risk, because this gentleman on my right wants us to have a different outcome.
I was on the ground the other day with the Premier, the current Premier.
Which one?
Announcing our Chinese television deal, the Premier Brumby.
Oh, yeah.
And we had Chinese dragons on the grass just to make sure it was in perfect. We had some lettuce on there and everything. We had a beautiful...
Did the Premier eat the lettuce?
No.
Okay. Right, so you've done this deal in our little side studio.
We just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's exclusive for you. Just if they play there, they'll be there.
So you shake and make up with your mates again?
No, don't go over the top. Cut it out. We have a robust discussion.
You could do a breakfast program as a duo.
Well, you'd have left and right, wouldn't you?
Really?
I mean, Andrew represents the left and I'm
agnostic.
the right.
I've seen
You're
that
not
before.
Don't start that. I've never seen someone so aligned to the Labor Party and all that.
Please.
In fact,
Please.
it's probably true that you're going to still stand for them at some stage, aren't you?
You know my answer to that, and you know that I've never declared my political persuasion.
Please. Goodness
Unlike you.
gracious, God.
You kicked John Howard around a bit during the Australia Day speech.
Yes,
I
you
did not.
You're such a socialist, it doesn't matter. It's
No,
why
the
game's a
AFL,
socialist.
the AFL is a socialist.
Yeah, that's right.
You know that.
Well,
We
it's got
equalise
drafts
everything.
and everything
Drafts,
else.
yeah.
And it's well led by a socialist.
So who's going to win the election, Julia or Tony Abbott?
I don't know, Neil. I don't think anyone knows, and I just think... I think Bob Hawke once said, never underestimate the Australian public, and they probably got it right the other day. It was a tie.
I never thought I'd say this, but I agree with him.
Thank you very much
Thanks,
for staying on.
Al.
Andrew
All
Demetriou, Chief Executive of the AFL. We'll take a quick break. Jeff Kennett. Oh, they're shaking hands. That's extraordinary.
Well, we've done it once in
You
our
winked
life.
it, didn't you?
No, we did it once in our life.
We did twice.
That's twice.
You've been beating him up when he's not here. He comes in, you've wimped it.
No, that's not. I got him in the other room. You should see. Haven't you noticed the colour of his skin? It's a lot darker than when he entered the studio. We had a bit of a rough up, but it's all right.
96 900 693 13 13 32.